Hello everybody. Before we start, I'm going to take you guys back to a meme that went viral almost a decade ago. This meme starts with two friends catching up since they haven't seen each other since their high school graduation. And in this conversation, they're talking about their jobs. The first friend says, "I am now an executive marketing promoter." And his friend was impressed. Like, this honestly sounds very impressive with like all the years of hard work. But in reality, he stands outside of a chicken store in a chicken costume selling chicken sandwiches. Either way, his friend was extremely impressed. So he says, "I'm now an underwater ceramic technician." And that also, that sounds very impressive as well. But in reality, he's a local dishwasher for a local food bank. Now, this video went viral. It got thousands of likes and millions of views. It went viral because it was exaggerated. People were surprised how you could turn these basic job titles into something almost award-winning. But now, this exact comedic device lives in our LinkedIn feeds and our resumes. Hi, my name is Darwish. I'm from Blue Valley Southwest High School and I'm a senior. And today, I'm going to be talking about the truth behind our resume padding epidemic. Now, before we start, I'm going to show you guys two examples of how this exists in our LinkedIn feeds today. Here's anonymous number 1. Grade 8 at Villa Middle, Distribution Management and Regional Food Security Network, founder at Youth-Led Engineering and Innovations Initiative. This kid sounds impressive. Honestly, I would hand them an award. But let's break it down. Grade 8 at Villa Middle, okay, they're an 8th grader. Distribution Management at Regional Food Security Network. In reality, he volunteers once a year at his local food bank. Founder at Youth-Led Engineering and Innovation Initiative. Engineering, innovation, he must be really smart. No, this is just a title for his weekly Lego hangouts. Here's anonymous number 2. Grade 11 at Westview High, Student Success and Academic Enrichment Coordinator, founder at Peer Learning Advancement Network. Okay, she's a junior, she sounds pretty successful and pretty smart. Student Success and Academic Enrichment Coordinator, she tutors her friends once a week. Okay, she's good. Founder at Peer Learning Advancement Network. In reality, she has a Google Doc shared with homework answers to all her classmates. Now, I'm no hypocrite. I literally do this myself. But the question is why? What societal standards have been set up for teenagers like me and you to lead us to do these actions? Well, let me break it down for you. I'm an editor, and I've always been an editor, so the best way to describe this is in editing terms. The highlight reel, the cut, and the raw footage. Let's start with the highlight reel. Like I mentioned before, summer programs and research internships now exist for those as young as early middle school. But the thing about these programs, they're not pay-to-goes or sign-ups. They're extensive applications that require essays about the history of your passions. Additionally, social media pages and LinkedIn feeds are filled with the normalization of the overworked teenager. Get ready with me at 5 a.m. for my internship, or how I got into every single college I applied to. These videos begin to dilute the rarity of hard work, and soon students and institutions begin to raise their standards on what a successful person actually looks like. The Yale Admission Podcast themselves have said that they see the title founder and co-founder so often that it loses value in the admissions process now. Additionally, this creates a system that begins to reward a perfect narrative over unfinished learning. The Stanford Admissions Committee have said themselves that they believe that 80% of their applicants are capable of thriving at their institution academically, but yet they only accept around 4% of those. This leads to the cut. Like I mentioned before, I'm an editor, and as you can see here, this is an Adobe Premiere Pro timeline, where it's my job to either cut out the parts that look boring or make those boring moments look interesting. But what I didn't realize is this applies to students too. 1, we either begin to cut out our most unproductive moments, those restful days, or those days you hang out with your friends, or your most unproductive days. We cut them out. We don't want people to see that because learning looks messy. Or we begin to capitalize on our hobbies, the things we love most. How to turn your hobbies into extracurriculars, or the easiest way to start extracurriculars in order to fill your resume. Now, I know this best because this happened to me. In the beginning of my senior year, I decided to take on the role of rebuilding my school's broadcast program. And with that, I gained the executive producer role, and additionally, I had to be in charge of over 30 students, rewrite a new curriculum, and produce content frequently. Additionally, I was making videos for a local network I was participating in. To others, this looked like my highlight reel. I had everything together. It seemed I had everything perfectly. But in reality, I found myself at night staring at my Adobe Premiere Pro video unsure of what to do, because the creativity I once had for editing was now lost. And now my self-esteem was tied to the things that I was doing because I took a hobby so close to me and I decided to mass produce it. Now, this leads to the raw footage. Like I mentioned previously, many teens, including me, begin to tie their self-esteem to the things they're passionate about in order to succeed. At my school, we have a business club where once a year we can go to Wichita and compete with kids all around Kansas. And this year, I did an editing competition. I decided to arrive 30 minutes early before my presentation in order to either give myself time to prep or practice my video. But what I didn't expect to happen was I ran into a university student who was also studying editing. And we had a raw conversation, a conversation about editing and how we grew to be passionate about editing. And in our conversation, I felt my spark return for editing. But the spark didn't return because I went on to get first place or my video did well on social media. The spark came because I had a genuine connection with someone, and I was beginning to feel the reason for why I started editing in the first place. Now, I'm going to leave you guys with this. I want you guys to think about what part of your life only exists to look good, and what part of your life would still exist even if no one could see it. And now, for the next time you volunteer, tutor, or mentor a peer, I want you to look at the person you're volunteering with, or even the person you're helping. I want you to look in their eyes, and maybe more than 2 seconds, and I want you to feel that raw connection, because that raw footage is not a distraction, and it is what will actually set you apart. Thank you.